the whole world can connect together through certain online platforms, social media platforms, and as a result, this is kind of broken certain barriers between how we communicate with people from different nations and different cultures. I feel that it's a really cool aspect of social media, but of course, as you are all aware of and probably experience yourself, there are downsides to social media and having our lives being so online, with these kinds of two different realities. One being real life, the one that we engage with when we're not online, and the other one being online. It's very difficult to be able to, I guess in a way, to control what you have online, your privacy for a very good example. And these large corporations like Facebook and Google, they're the town square of our online reality. So this is a completely new environment, one that we are figuring out really as we go. And I feel that being in the dark ages of this kind of reality, there definitely needs to be a lot of tweaking. It's like something from Player One, you know that movie, like everyone's comparing Player One to the new meta universe. So anyway, this video today is about being a sensitive person, navigating this new world. So as a sensitive person yourself, I've put together a list of things that maybe you can relate to. Stay tuned for the video, but first I want to thank the sponsor of this video today. I'm so excited to work with Ana Luisa once again. They are a favorite of mine. The past 2 years really have taught me about what I can do without and what really matters. Firstly, I could absolutely do away with unsustainable, toxic consumerism. It's not good for the environment nor the soul. Secondly, companies who engage in responsible ethical trade while delivering top quality products like certified climate neutral jewelry company Ana Luisa are leading a much needed change of values within our society. What I love about Ana Luisa is the innovative philosophy to keep people, planet, and product upheld to the highest standard. For people, there is something for everyone, every expression and every occasion. I personally love their dainty, delicate pieces such as M Mini Olive, which can be worn with anything. For planets, Ana Luisa offset 100% of their carbon emissions from sourcing raw material to end of life. They're completely transparent within this crafting process. This way, you know looking your best will not come at the cost of the planet. For product, Ana Luisa only provide noble, top quality materials and gemstones, which are hypoallergenic and nickel-free. All of my Ana Luisa pieces have kept perfectly. With Black Friday fast approaching, Ana Luisa are holding the biggest sale of the year. Buy one and receive 60% off the next item. Don't miss this opportunity to look and feel your best while also knowing you're part of this planetary solution by changing the culture of unethical, tired consumerism. Get in quick to receive 60% off your second item by following the link at the top of my description box. So do you guys struggle to say what you really think when you're online? I have kind of covered this one a few weeks ago about self-censorship. It's a very similar concept, I guess, of, I wouldn't say you're afraid to post things, but you're apprehensive of completely expressing yourselves because everyone seems to be so darn opinionated online, and it doesn't matter kind of what move you make, someone somewhere is going to see it and judge you. This, of course, is being made worse by things like cancel culture, and the online platforms have become very political, which is a very unfortunate thing because once upon a time you were able to express yourself without it particularly being political. So how does this relate to sensitivity or being a highly sensitive person? I think for me, say when I enter a room, like socially, I anticipate every person in that room, the kind of environment that I'm going into. When I'm socializing, I don't pretend to be someone I'm not, but I observe the room, I observe people, and I guess in a way hold myself back to let other people express themselves so that I understand what kind of people they are. With being online, because it's become a second reality to us, it's very common for people to snoop through your profile and to gather what kind of person you are, or who they think you are rather, by what you post. And being a sensitive person, you are generally very protective of who you are. I am very protective of who I am. And being in the age of cancel culture, you don't want to say the sky is blue just in case you upset somebody and then you get cancelled on Twitter. But that's why I don't have a Twitter. Can you relate to this one? Let me know. So as I mentioned in the last point, when I'm going about socializing, entering a room, there's people in the room, I'm more of an observer than a talker. You have to be very careful online not to jump to conclusions or make full assumptions about people from what they post. It's important to remember that your online life is not a complete reflection of your everyday life. It's a very touchy and political time right now, and it's very common to come by people posting what they think about things, whether they sit on one side of the fence or the other. It's always important to remember that while they hold these opinions, that in real life they may not have that kind of energy. You can go onto someone's profile and they have 50 posts of dogs, and then you assume, every moment of their life, that's what they're surrounding themselves in. But they could simply, just in the heat of the moment, want to post something about dogs. So that's what I mean about being an observer, that I'm observing the online culture rather than an individual person. As a result, it makes me think how I personally want to behave when I'm online, and also how I view social media in general. Being sensitive means that I'm sensitive to my environment. That means any kind of weird fabrics that are on my body, or weird noises that are outside, like crickets at 1 o'clock in the morning, they're going to affect my energy and how I'm feeling. And being involved with this online realm, I feel quite similar in the way that I react to my environment. I'm wondering if you do too. Following on with being an observer and reacting to your environment, do you ever feel depressed if you're spending too much time online? Especially when being online puts you into an environment where there's lots of negativity, lots of arguing, lots of political and conflicting opinions. Rarely do I see social media being a positive place, and I think it's something that you need to create yourself. I often get people messaging me, and while I might send a reply back, sometimes it takes me a really good while to reply. Sometimes I have people in my life who I'm very close to whom I don't often reply to, and now they know that it's not me actually ghosting them, but it's that I need a detox from being online. It can become so overwhelming that I just need to get off it indefinitely. Sometimes that means that maybe I will just binge watch B videos, and just that's all I look at online, because I just don't want anything to do with the online culture at all. Even with hiding behind a screen, being online sometimes doesn't feel safe, not in the sense of your physical safety, but your mental and emotional health, your mental and emotional safety. Do you guys ever feel burnt out from reading the same old arguments? When you finally do express yourself, to have people come out of nowhere and tell you what they think. Sometimes I've had to avoid reading my comment section because negative comments affect me. They affect my mental health. I don't like reading them. It's all part of being online though, and I think that's what I have come to accept. But it doesn't make it any easier, so yeah. As sensitive people, we can be very emotionally sensitive too. When there's things happening in our environment, it can become incredibly overwhelming. So it would make absolute sense for you to become very, very burnt out using this second reality that we have, especially with how much involvement that it has in our personal lives and this almost breach of privacy, the data mining, for example, that Facebook does. It's like there's nowhere really to escape unless you're on the dark web and have a VPN. This is not an ad. That's why detox is a good thing. And that leads me to my next point. Experiencing being online and creating this second reality, because that's really what it is, especially with this meta thing coming in, that I'm more now than what I ever have been valuing privacy, valuing simplicity, valuing connecting with nature, with God. Going through this pandemic has made me realize the little things in life that I want to choose to appreciate more. A few years ago, there was a lot more ego, a lot more living moment to moment with me, but now I have a lot more interest with connecting, with realizing that I'm not living with nature, that I am nature, and that we're all connected. Being online doesn't give me that feeling. In fact, it creates the separation. I really feel that separation within my heart. I'm going down a really cheesy road, but that's exactly how it feels. That it doesn't nurture my soul, but what really nurtures my soul is connecting with what the Creator has provided for us. And look, you may not be religious or spiritual, but you may have your own understanding and view of the situation, of this, wanting to strip everything back and value simplicity once again. Progressivism. That thing is part of human nature because we are natural explorers, so we are going to want to figure out how to make our lives easier, more efficient. Obviously, with efficiency comes capital, so there is a lot of money to be made and a lot of things, material things to be gained. But what I like to say is that with this idea of human beings being naturally progressive, that with that comes responsibility. So that is the other end of it. I feel that we're entering territory where we've got to be really careful. Like with AI, for example, what an amazing invention. We've only seen these things being in sci-fi movies, but now they're really becoming a reality, and it scares the living out of me. And I feel that there are these two worlds merging, and to be honest, I don't want to be part of it. And I don't know whether this is a highly sensitive person thing or not, but every move that we make further into this digital reality, the further I want to get away from it, the more that I want to connect with the earth, to animals, to what really matters to me in my heart. I honestly, you guys, would just drop everything and go into the woods. If I had the opportunity and it was set up for me, yeah, I'd totally do that. Perhaps I'm just simply showing my age. Our grandparents would have freaked out when internet came in, or when the radio came in, or the TV, that this was going too far. Maybe that's what's happening with me, but as I said, I feel that with progressing comes responsibility. And I don't feel that there are people, corporations that actually have our best interests at heart and who have the planet's best interests at heart at all. So to be reliant on these corporations and to have them be the town square, especially in the social media world, again, as I said at the start of the video, it needs to be kept in check, and it needs a good old tweaking. And that's why I love Ana Luisa, because they are a sustainable company. They understand that with making jewelry and trading means that they want to be responsible, that they have a responsibility, and I totally respect that. If I had a company like theirs, I would absolutely behave in the same way. So if you want to make the most of their Black Friday sale, please check the description box below. Could you relate to any of the things in this video today, or am I just too hypersensitive and I should get myself offline? Honestly though, it pays to take a break, it pays to take a step back and to very much separate these two worlds, to understand that they are separate. For now, you guys, I hope you have a good day, night, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys all again for the next video. Bye.